Thank you guys. Thank you guys for your patience. I really do appreciate it. Um, Please forgive me. Denise, check it out for me now and see if we're okay over in Facebook land. Good morning, guys. I don't know what's going on this morning, but it's well, here we go. I done hit a tag. Oh God. So good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. So please forgive me. So I'm going through. I'm gonna hit the tags. Denise, don't tag them, just press play. I did, and that's what I get because I done hit a tag on a couple over here that I didn't mean to. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Let's start it all over. My name is Shavetta Belton. I am the owner of you're wearing your shirt this morning? Good. I'm the owner of Divine Oasis Salon, and I'm also a stylist there. I am the creator and founder of Faith Plus Works Equals Success, and I'm also your life coach. Guys, thank you for joining me this morning. I'm super excited. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Antoinette over here, Instagram world. To my Instagram folks, thank you for kicking it with me. Thank you for holding in there. Hanging in there with me. Y'all, good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope y'all all are doing well. I don't know if my title came back on this one or not, but this morning I am super I'm super tired, to be honest, but all is well. You get to sit and you're watching something and you get caught up in it and forget you got a task the next morning. I don't know how you let that happen, but I did. So this is my last week of vacation, which it may be for a lot of hairstylists, or some hairstylists are actually finishing up their second week of being back in the salon. For me, next week is my first week back in the salon. I'm getting excited. You can't hear it? Hear nothing? Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be a good day, huh? You still can't hear anything? Anybody else is having trouble hearing? Instagram, can y'all hear me? Somebody over in Instagram, give me some hearts or let me know if you can hear me. Anybody else in Facebook land having trouble hearing me? You good over there? Okay. So guys, Denise, go out and come back in and see if that'll help. So guys, listen. So next week is my first week back in the salon. Okay. So some people are having trouble in Facebook land hearing me, but others, so they moved over to Instagram. So guys, listen. This week is my first week back in. Next week will be my first week back. Back in the salon. Next week will be. So on the course of this time out, I've had some ups and downs. And it's not meant to really share right now, but it was some ups and downs. Nothing really. It's a story for another time. Let me say that. So, but I can say that after going and getting everything settled and set in place, I'm excited about next week. I think I'm really excited about seeing my clients and spending that time with them. It's a lot of one-on-one time. So he's taking me back to the way, the way things were, where we started 2 weeks prior to the closing of salons to have like more one-on-one. So we were trying to keep people from being piled up together. And I enjoyed that time. I didn't feel as tired and I was able to spend a lot of one-on-one time. So I'm really excited. Nikki can't hear me either. I'm going to miss you too. I really am. I'm going to miss having you there 24/7. I really am. So on the days that you're there, I'm going to appreciate it like never before. And that's something we have to remember, that And Nikki, you may have to come out and come back in. Guys, in this shift of life and in this change of life, we have to realize it's times that we have to hold near and dear. Because like for us going back into the salon, Denise has always been a part of Divine Oasis. Denise has always been present. She wasn't one of my first ones, but that second draft of people that I had, Denise has always been there. And so we spent, even when she was in school, she would get out of school and come every day. So you take for granted those times that you have because you think they'll always be there. But in all actuality, life changes and a shift, and it's an amazing shift for her. It's like a celebration. It's not mine to share, but it's like this woman has consistently prayed for something, and God is opening the door, so all we can do is rejoice in it because it's an amazing thing. So, but the other side is, like, we're gonna miss her. She is our jokester. She's our laugher. She's our laughter. She's our joy. You know, not that we don't have joy when she's there, but she brings a different kind of something to the mix. So we appreciate her being present, and we're gonna miss her. We really are gonna miss her, having her there full time. But guys, thank y'all for coming and hanging out with me. I don't know if the title came up when I came back on Facebook or not, but it's called Becoming. And it is called Becoming because I actually watched the Michelle Obama documentary last night. And in watching the documentary, it was so good. It was so good. But the title is Becoming for today. And so when the show started, it started off, and I could be wrong, like down to the T, so don't hold me to it. But the documentary, when it came on, she was walking, and it was pretty much showing the feel of, you know, how it was when she walked into place. And you could, like, through the video camera, you know, this was recorded prior to, this was early on, and you could feel what was going on in that room. And I thought that was amazing that this is a pre-recorded, and I could feel, it was almost like I could feel what she felt. And it made me stop for a minute, and the first thing I could write was impact. Impact is what I felt, is what came over me when she walked in the room, because I could feel it. I could only imagine if I felt it and I'm watching it on TV, I can only imagine what she felt, you know, and during that time. And I was like, man, it made me stop and think. Because what we have to remember is we don't want to just have people, you know, making noise when you walk in a room, or, but what kind of impact are you leaving? What kind of impact do you have when you walk, you know, when you've been around people? What do you possess? You know, what are you created for? And are you doing what you created to do so that you can have an impact on his people, so that you can have an impact on God's people? Are you following the design that he has for your life? Are you putting in order and putting in place the things that he's put inside of you? Are you applying the things? Are you connected to the right things? Hey, Kayla. Hey, Ed. Deidre. So, you know, are you applying these things? What is your impact? And I'm thinking, wow, you know, yeah, she's the first lady, you know, she was the former first lady. Yep. You know, that's amazing. You know, and that was her job at one point. That was what she was supposed to do. But, you know, and she was supposed to do it because she was Barack Obama's wife. You know, that was her job, you know, but during the course of this show, I'm looking and I'm paying attention and I'm listening to everything she says. So people were asking in so many ways, you know, like, one young lady was sitting at the table and she said, well, I don't know, you know, pretty much, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know where I'm going. How did you know? She said, what makes you think that I know? She said, I'm just like you. I'm learning all over again. We think once we get it and we've conquered it in this place that it's no more growing. You know, you think, oh, she got it figured out. Hey, Sandra, she has it figured out because she was the first lady. So now she could just do whatever she wants to do. You know, she can. She probably can walk in doors that she could never walk in. Good morning, Ed and my Connect family. She could walk in doors. But are those doors the doors that God created for her? Are those the doors that were laid out? Hey, Tadra and Shai. Are those the doors that God created for her? Because she has access. But just because you have access doesn't mean you're supposed to go in there. Just because you have access does not mean you're supposed to be there. And we have to remember that. So when she said that, she was like, I'm trying to figure that out for myself. And that was amazing to me because for us, we see her as reaching. She has reached the top. You know, you've been first lady. Now you can do whatever you want to do. No, but I want to do what God's created me to do. I want to carry my assignment that he's given me for this season. I want to be who he's called me to be in this season. You know? And so in that place, we have to remember that just because this is where we were in this season doesn't mean that that's where we'll be in the next season. We have to be ready to take on our assignments at all given times. So when she was sitting there talking, another thing she said, you know, because people automatically thought that her life was, you know, complete. So I need you to help me. When she's sitting there looking at him like, baby, we're in the same group. So maybe we need, you know, we need to seek. And this is my perception of the conversation she was in. You know, I'm seeking God for my next. You know, I saw that, you know, she was like, I don't have it. I'm learning. I'm becoming, you know. And so then they said something about the White House. That woman said, for those 8 years, my life stopped. We on the outside are looking at her life and we automatically think that her life is just beginning. Because now you're the first black first lady. You married the first black president. You have these beautiful children. You're in this mansion. You're in this great place. So your life has had to just start. It has just started. And guess what that woman said? That woman sat there and said, no, my life was on hold for 8 years. 8 years, I dealt every day trying to be perfect. Trying to live in perfection. Can you imagine the weight and the struggle and the stress with 8 years of life? Trying to be perfect for a world that you wear one wrong outfit, you look wrong one way, you don't respond the way they expect you to respond. Trying to be perfect for a group of people who could care less. Their job is to tear you down and beat you down. And so her thing was, my life stopped for 8 years. And for us, we're sitting on the outside thinking, oh, wow, your world just started, girl. You're just starting to live. How many of us are sitting in places where people think, oh, God, you got it going on. Oh, everything is great for you. And you're thinking to yourself, no, I feel stuck and struggling. This ain't it. You know? And outside looking in, people think it's all good and people think everything's okay. That woman was like, she said for her, you know, she was ready. That was a blessing. And she supported him, but her life was over. And she said it. My life for 8 years was on hold. So now she's at the point of actually being able to grab hold to what God has placed in her. And to see the impact that she has on women is beautiful. And young girls, like those young girls look at her and they see hope. They see where they can go from feeling like nothing to something. So it was one young lady in her group. And the young lady was sitting around, and she was a Latino young lady. And the young lady was sitting there, and she said, I don't know how I got lucky to be here. She said, and Miss Obama said to her, well, why do you feel like you shouldn't be here? And she said, well, I'm only part of one club, so I stay after school for one club, and it's the Latino Society Club or something. She said, I stay for that. She said, but then I leave here, and I go to work. Well, and Miss Obama asked, so why do you go to work? I go to work because I have to help my dad with my sister and brother. And it was her senior year in high school. So then the question was posed, why don't you deserve to be here? You're everything that needs to sit in this room. It may not be that you're a part of every club. It may not be a part of, maybe a thing of your being with every society or in every social group or in every area as other people. But who gets to say you don't get to sit at the table? You've done your just work. You've done the things you were supposed to do, so you have the right to sit at the table. It's a lot of us sitting places that we feel, we're sitting on the outside going, I don't think I belong here, or I don't think I deserve to be here. No, you deserve to be in that room. You deserve to be in that place. You deserve to sit amongst people that are higher than you, because that's where you learn, in rooms where you can't do nothing but sit there with your mouth shut, because all you're doing is learning. All you're doing is receiving. But if you go in with the mindset, am I supposed to be here? Am I supposed to be at this table? Do I deserve to sit at this table? Then you're going to miss the blessing that God has for you. Your desire needs to be, put me in a room where I'm not the smartest. Put me in a room and surround me by people who are going to pour into me. Put me in a room where people are unselfishly giving knowledge, because they realize releasing the knowledge is what's going to allow God to give them more. Having their hands open instead of closed is going to get them more. That don't worry about you being better than me. Not worrying about, are you going to excel quicker than I will excel? Are you going to reach heights that I didn't reach? The goal is for you to reach places that others can't, because we have to understand that we're all designated and designed for a certain group of people. God has given you the people that he expects you to take care of. But we got to get in position and get out of our head, sitting there believing that we don't belong at tables, that we don't belong in rooms. No, God, grant me access to that room. If that's the room you want me in, God, grant me access. And God, clean out my ears and my eyes so that I can get everything I'm supposed to get when I get in that room. I don't want to leave anything behind. I don't want to leave anything for chance. I want to get everything out of that room that I'm supposed to have. It's a lot of us sitting here like that young girl was, trying to understand. And then when you get in the room, you're trying to figure out how I made it. Don't sit there too long trying to figure out how you made it. Just say, thank you, Jesus, and pull out your notepad and your pen and get ready to write. Get ready to soak up all the knowledge somebody's willing to give you. Because that's where growth comes. Growth doesn't come in a space where you're the one that knows everything. That's just feeding the ego. That's just feeding your flesh. That's just making you feel good about you and the situation. It's not giving you anything. In those places, you need to be the one pouring and giving so that you can make room for what you're going to get in that room that you didn't think you belonged in, or that you're going to get to go in. Because once we get in our mind that he has given us access, then we walk in those rooms differently. We walk in humble and ready, eager to learn. And realizing that also, every room that opens up to you is not a room for you also. Just really knowing. Guys, good morning over here. Once again, if you're just logging on, I am Shavetta Belton, the owner of Divine Oasis Salon, and a stylist there. Also the creator of Faith Plus Works Equals Success. And I'm also your life coach. Guys, please forgive me. And I know we had technical difficulties on Facebook this morning. But guys, listen. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and she took those 8 years to really work on, really work for him and support him. you know. So I was watching it last night, and to watch her go forth and find out who she was, I'm thinking it's a lot of us. We're thinking she's made it. We think she's made it to the top. And I'm speaking of Michelle Obama. I was watching Becoming, if you guys are just logging on. But I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I'm like, she's in her new season. She's not searching. She just knew, write a book. Once you write that book, you know, he laid on it, write the book. So then the book, but then the tour came. So then you go on tour and you realize how many people lives you're touching. You realize how many people, one woman stopped at the table and spoke on postpartum depression. Guys, I hadn't read the book, but in that, hey Nita, and Renata, in that place, y'all, she was able to connect with the lady, even if in just one chapter. She did what God laid on her heart to do. She made a book. And the book is called Becoming. And then in that, she was able to help that woman that was a mother of one that went through postpartum. I don't know what's in the book. I don't know what the lady read, but I know what the lady said. Then those little girls that she's giving hope to on a daily basis, those little girls, not just on the south side of Chicago, but that can take something from what Michelle Obama went through and apply it to their lives. She's changing lives daily. And she's out here, well, once again, what we thought, girl, you done made it to the top, you can sit and chill. She realizes, almost 60-something years of age, I have more work to do. She doesn't see herself as not being able to, or I'm too old. She's looking for what's next. She's looking for what other impact can she give this world. So how many of us are sitting being okay with just where we are? You know, are thinking, oh, we've reached it. We've reached it. I'm here. No, God, what's next? What more do you have for me? Your hunger and your desire has to be there. What more do you have for me? What else is there for me to get? Guys in Instagram world, give me some hearts to let me know that you can hear me. You know, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, whoa. Hey, Derek. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, why are we sitting? Guys, don't just sit in being okay or being great where you are. God, you've given me this task and I've made it in this place, Lord God. So not necessarily made it. What I'm saying is, God, I've reached what you wanted me to reach. What's next? And don't wait until that season is up to start seeking him. God, on this journey, can you lay my path before me? You know, God, show me what's, you know, because we're sitting here and we have dreams and we have desires and we have things that he's given us. We have notebooks full of things. I know I do. So I'm going to say I have notebooks full of things. And I've said at times and asked him, God, what's next? And I know he probably sitting there like, girl, if you ask me one more time what's next, if you don't go pick up that green notebook that's sitting on your account in your drawer that you wrote that thing down I gave you in 2015, if you don't go get that and do something with that, if you don't grab it and take it, then we're sitting with a mind full of potential, but it's not being used. You're not doing what he's called you to do. You're not laying it out. So now it's time to take it off those books and take them off the shelf. Wipe it off. This woman is going into her 60s. I don't know her exact age. And she's looking for her next. And she realized her next was, I want to see the youth make it. I want to see the youth move forward because they're our future. Everybody's not called a youth, but she realized. Maybe you're called to the next group of nurses. Maybe you're closing to the end of your nursing career, or you're getting ready to do the shift of your life. Are you shifted from one part of nursing to another part of nursing? Maybe your position is to go pick up that young nurse, that one that needs guidance, that one that needs molding, that one that needs somebody with godly principles and a godly mindset to build up, Maybe it's your job to go back and get them. Pour into them like somebody poured into you. Or better yet, how about this? Because some of us are sitting and wishing and praying that we had somebody pour into us and we didn't. So we're out here searching for somebody to pour into us. And God is like, I'm right here. I'm the ultimate pourer. Take everything that was poured into you, or the way you desired to have somebody pour into you, and give your time there. What if you are in a teacher, an educator? What if your job is to go back and pick up the young ones before you? We all have an assignment. We all have something to do, but we can't be so focused, once we hit a place that we're not going back to give. Because her thing was, I want to give to the youth. Like, I'm out here figuring it out, and I'm realizing what it is. So I want to go forth, and I want to help the youth. So I'm going to help the youth. So she's figuring out her next. She's 60. She has so much life in her. She's 60. Y'all, we sitting at 41 going, what's my next, Jesus? Because I'm sick of this. Have you really exhausted everything you're supposed to do in that place? Shavetta, I'm talking to me. Let me step back and talk about me. And then y'all could just agree. If you agree, give me some hearts and let me know that you're here with me. However, step back. Shavetta, have you done everything you were supposed to do behind the chair? Shavetta, have you gone back and educated the way you were supposed to educate? Shavetta, have you fulfilled everything I gave you to fulfill in this place before you asked me to give you a portion in another place? Have you completed the task that I've given you in this season and in this place before you have your hand out asking, can I go on to here? Because either you've allowed fear to get you. What has caused you to tighten up? What has caused you to feel like you've tapped out? So I'm gonna ask myself the question. Have you completed every task, Shavetta, where you are? Shavetta, have you completed everything I gave you in this place? I'm just going to be transparent. I'm going to talk about me once again. Okay? I have always wanted to be, I wouldn't necessarily say a platform artist as far as being out on one of the big stages. I've always wanted to do tutorials on cutting hair and curling hair, pretty much my day in the salon, the things that people show, the things I love. But what stopped me from that? Feeling that somebody was going to critique me all the way to the left of my haircut, or my curl wasn't this way, or it wasn't so much of what people thought, but what I thought, what my mind space created. And so at some point, you have to take 5 steps back and get out your own head, because your inner me is your real enemy. It is what's holding you back from what's there for you. I'll help somebody with a haircut in the salon. I will, with no problem. But I've been my own holdup. I've taught 1 CEU class since I had my license to be an educator. That about took me out. I was sweating bullets, But what am I holding in my hand that God is saying, open your hand? And how many people am I failing not showing up? How many people am I letting down not showing up for my assignment? How many people am I holding up? How many people are waiting on me to show up for my assignment? But I'm over here working on this one, because this one, either it feel good, or I feel like I'm better off here because it's one that I feel comfortable in. When in all actuality, he's just waiting for me to show up over here and do what I'm supposed to do over here. How many of us keep writing out things and creating more and more and more and more? And building right here because we think it's for right now. But when he really said, come on over here, because they're waiting on you over here. They're waiting on you over here, and you over there building that, and that's for another season. Come back in this season so that you can reap the full harvest in the proper season. Come back over here. Just because it's easier, or it feels like something you can lay out real quick, look like something you can move in real quick, and so you doing it. But you're trying to figure out why it's not producing fruit. Are you figuring out why it's a struggle? Are you figuring out why it's hidden, but it's not as impactful as it could be? But if you come on back over here where he sent you, if you come on back over here where he have you planted right now, then you're going to produce good fruit. You're going to see the fruit. You're going to see the things take place. Because you're planted where he's designated you for this season. Then you're in the right place. Not that idea, not that thought, not that thing wasn't a good thing. It's just not for right now. And because a lot of times we want the right now, well, because it makes us comfortable. It doesn't stretch us. It's easy to flow in because we've set our eye on it. But how about sitting in that thing that stretches you? How about sitting in that thing that makes you uncomfortable? Because 9 times out of 10, that's what he waiting on you to get over there. Some of us are sitting in jobs and we've gotten comfortable in them, and God is saying, hey, apply for that other job. I'm not qualified, but apply. Because there's something over there he probably has you doing. He has something over there for you. And then sometimes he just got to show you, I'm God. You don't get to tell me. You don't get to tell me what you qualify for. I am the qualifier. He qualifies us. That's why we can sit in places that most people can't. That is when we really put our hand in his hand. That's when we really surrender our life to him. That's when we really, really, really shift our mindset. When we really set forth on the things that he had for us. He'll sit you in rooms that you weren't supposed to be in. By your standards. But by his standards, that's a different thing. So it's time to shift your thoughts. It's time to shift the way you think. Stop sitting on that application. Apply. Stop settling with just being at that job because it's giving you 40 hours a week. Stop. Apply for that job that your heart desires. Go to that place and do the thing that he's called you to do and he's been calling you to do for a while. Stop sitting on just your cosmetology license when you're supposed to be going to be an instructor. Stop looking at everybody else cutting videos and stuff and create your own. Not that you're better than anybody else. But that's what you're called to. Stop filling your time with things you desire, but go and ask the Father what he desires for your life and follow that. Some of you teachers, y'all need to go back and get, and I'm talking about in the school system. Because some of y'all are being called to be principals and assistant principals so that you can be the proper covering over these schools. Some of y'all are called to management so that you can shift the atmosphere of these offices. Because if his people don't get in place, we're going to continue to see the same thing over and over again. Some of you guys that are in these commission salons or chain salons, some of y'all are called to management. He needs his people to get in place so that we can do the job we are called to do. We're sitting and we're waiting for change when what if, just by what chance? He's called you to be the change, and you're sitting back waiting on somebody else to be the change, and everybody looking at you like, bro, you got the ball in your hand. Everybody see it but you because you can't see the greatness in you. You can't see where he sent you. That's right, Nita. And that is a big thing. Nita and I was talking Friday. I was blessed enough. My friend came in from Florida and we were able to sit and talk. And Nita, I need to call you because it was a shift in what we talked about. But what we realized in sitting and talking, everybody needs a mentor. Everybody needs somebody that's going to help you shift to your next. A mentor is very important. And don't just go out here willy-nilly picking mentors, because sometimes we have to understand everybody who calls themselves a mentor isn't a mentor. And everybody who is a mentor may not be the one for you. So ask God to put you with the person that you're supposed to be with. Ask God to send you the person that's going to help you get to your next. And some people have more than one. Because Nita and I was talking, like, it's mentors in marriage. It's mentors in business. It's mentors in personal. I mean, you may luck up on one that can cover all areas. But if not, that's okay. But you have to have the right people, planting seed in your life. Because I promise you, whatever this plant is going to come out. It's going I don't know what that harvest is going to look like. So make sure you're connected to the right person. Make sure that the person that's pouring into you and planting seeds are the proper people, because you'll start seeing the manifestation of those things. And those people aren't there to be your friend. Those people ain't going to let you sit in the amen corner. They're not just going to be like, yep, No, they're going to call you on the rug. They're going to call you to your stuff. They're going to say, no, you're going a little left. Nah, bring it back here. Yeah, no, you keep giving, You keep doing the same thing. See, a lot of times we're looking for somebody to rub us and love on us and beat. No. You need somebody that's willing to check you so that you can be better. Checking don't always feel good. Checking ain't always a feel-good thing. But you love me enough to check me. You love me enough to bring this to my attention. Don't always look at checking as a beatdown. Don't always look at people checking you are your mentor bringing something to the forefront as them beating you down. It's not. It's actually genuinely caring. You care enough not to allow me to sit here and get stuck. You love me enough to push me to my next. You see far further than I can see. Don't sit there with somebody who got the same vision as you, because then y'all just sitting in the water and ain't going nowhere. They have to be able to see beyond what you can see. They have to be willing to give beyond measure, because they understand, or 9 times out of 10, they had somebody who did it for them. So for y'all ones that are comfortable in your jobs, just ask them. Just ask them, God, what do you want me to become? God, what's next for me? And actually shut your mouth long enough and sit there and let him tell you. See, sometimes we ask questions, then we hop up and go on about our day. We don't just rest in his presence. We don't just silence the noise so that we can hear what he has next for us. We don't pause long enough. We don't pause long enough to hear what he's saying. We want to give it to him, and then we want to go. No, just sit. Just sit. And I think it was Mama Jessie that brought this up to us on a call. And it has slipped my mind. Sometimes he just I believe it was on that call. She was just saying how you just need to sit. Sometimes when he tell you don't cut on that TV, don't cut it on. When he's telling you just to sit and lay there, you sit and you lay there. You sit in his presence and be still. It's nothing on the outside of that house that you're going to miss, because he set something before you that's going to be way better than anything that your heart desires, are going out here to just do what you want to do to fulfill the feeling of the flesh. Sometimes he just wants you to chill. Be quiet. Close the room door and sit quietly. And in that quiet space is where he comes and give you clarity. Yep, that's for now. No, hold off on that. That might be for later. Oh, no, that's definitely yours. It just may not be right now. But I need you to complete this task. Because it's no different than what we tell our children. How about you finish this before you go to that? See, we real good at preaching, but not applying what we preach. So we tell our children, you need to complete that before you go on to that. Or you need to finish this task, or you need to finish before you go to that. When in all actuality, we do the same thing at times. We start this thing, but before we even complete it and apply it, we're going to the next thing. Because in that point, what you're looking for is self-gratification. You're looking for something to feed your flesh. Because 9 times out of 10, right here got frustrated. Right here got real hard. Right here don't feel as good. So we want to move to the thing that makes us feel good, and the thing that make us feel like, whoo, we done made it. When in all actuality, that thing that got you right there in that bind, that thing right there that you about to put on the shelf because you feel like it ain't so, is the one thing that is going to be impactful. It's the one thing you're going to see the fruit of your labor. It's going to be that one thing that you realize touch 10,000 instead of 1,000. Because that thing, he gave you this thing, but it just wasn't for the season. It's no different than getting a watermelon in the wintertime than a watermelon in the summer. It's still a watermelon. It's still pretty and red most of the time. But a summertime watermelon is sweet and juicy. A wintertime watermelon is pretty in color, but it's not as sweet. It may not even be as juicy because you're eating that fruit out of season. So you get nutritional benefits from it, but it's not the same as when you eat it in season. So do that thing in season, even when it hurt. Do that thing in season, even when it doesn't feel good. If he's called you to it for this season, don't miss it. Go to a room where you're not the smartest. Sit at a table where you can't give nothing. All you can do is get. And make sure in that room they're willing to give it to you and give it to you honestly. 9 times out of 10, when you're in that room, you with some big thinkers. You with some millionaires. You with some people that done shifted some things in life. You're with people that have gained something. So sit in that room where you're uncomfortable. Sit in that room where it don't look, sit there. That's where you'll grow. Then you could take that back to your room and you can share it with the people that's in your space. Because we cannot get anything if we're sitting there with our fists closed. So the same thing you get. And it's a season for you to just receive. Shut your mouth and receive. Take in everything they're giving. Don't leave nothing to chance. Don't leave nothing by happenstance. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Tanisha. Hey, Zanita. Sit there and just be quiet. Get it. You understand? And listen, what I'm learning in this season, when I don't get something, I raise my hand. I say, I don't understand. Or in this season, what he's teaching me how to do is not just keep my mouth shut if I feel like I'm being mistreated or misunderstood, or if I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I don't sit quiet anymore. I used to be real good at defending others. And not knowing how to defend myself or not knowing how to stand up for me. Because I always had somebody standing up for me. If it wasn't Candy when we were younger, Candy was always the one that would get people for me. So and then I have 5 older sisters. It's not really much I had to stand in and stand up for myself. But it had created in the adulthood where I would bend down and not express. No, I feel like I've been taken advantage of. No, you mishandled me. No, I don't understand. So now I'm getting real good at, I don't understand, or, oh no, I see, and that ain't right. Yeah, no, you mishandling me here. You get what I'm saying? So guys, make sure you enter in rooms. Enter in rooms that you're not the smartest. Ask God, where do you want me? For the ones of y'all sitting in these jobs because it's comfortable, because it's yielding an income, ask him where he wants you to go. Teachers that are supposed to be principals, and you know who you are, you know who he's called to this. Seek him. Seek him. And ask him his plan for your life. Y'all, we need kingdom citizens in positions where we will shift and move things. We can't stay where we are expecting to see a change if we don't want to do the things to be the change. If we sit and try to still figure out, is this what I'm called to? And you know it is. Stop working on the things that make you feel good and work on the things he's called you to. It may be a little hard, but work on the things he's called you to. And remember, he's placing us all in places and in areas where he's called us to be in. So get in your position and wait for him to give you your assignment. Some of us have our assignments. We've just been running from them for so long because it's uncomfortable. Sit in the uncomfortable place and grow there. Sit in that uncomfortable place and do what he's designed and called you to do. Be who he has called you to be. That's right. So at the end of the day, we all are assigned to a group of people, and your people are waiting for you to get in line. Your people are waiting for you to show up. Your people are waiting on you to fulfill what he's giving you to fulfill. I watch, and guys, if you just joined me, it's based off of Becoming with Michelle Obama. Is what brought me here. But that woman does not take for granted that those rooms are filled because of her. You know, she does. It's not like, oh, it's all me, but she's taking her assignment and she's doing what he's given her to do. And she's a humble woman. She knows it's not, oh, just me, but she understands that she's been created for an impact. So she show up in these arenas and she's filling them out. And her thing is, I still can't believe that people are filling it out because of me. So she realizes it's bigger than her. She shows up to do what she's assigned to do. She's almost 60 years old, y'all. And that woman is waiting to become. She's waiting for her next. What's my next? And she realizes it's for children because that's what pulls on her heart. Guys, stop running and sit still. Get you a mentor. Get you somebody that's going to pour into you and love on you in your business, if you're married, in your marriage, in your personal life, your spiritual life. Mentors are needed. Just make sure God sends you the proper mentor. Don't go out here picking your own. Ask him. Ask him. But I'm telling you, I want to be impactful. I want to have an impact on somebody's life. So guess what I'm going to do? We're talking about me again. I'm going to get in line and I'm going to do the things he's called me to do. I'm going to stop running from being a quality educator. I'm not going to continue to not tape my cutting videos or styling videos because I'm worried about it not being not being what I see. When if I just do what he told me to do, then his grace is going to be on it. His love is going to be there because I'm in obedience for what he called me to do. I'm going to get out of my way. I don't know about anybody else. However, I'm talking about me. The inner enemy that's in me is going to die. I know I've been created to educate. I know I've been created to motivate. I know I've been created to inspire. So when you know what you've been created for, then why are we sitting on the things that we know? Instead of taking what we know that he's placed in us and applying it to where he would have us to go. So guys, listen, what time is it? Let me do my time check because I try not to hold you too long. It's 7:53. I'm going to ask you, who are you becoming? Who have you been called to? And what have you been called for? Stop trying to move out of season. Remember, it's always best to be a watermelon in season because you're juicy and sweet. You move out of season, you end up being that wintertime watermelon. It ain't as good. It's pretty, but it doesn't yield the same outcome. If you move in the season that God has placed you in, then you'll see the abundance. For the ones of us that's living below where he's called us to, let's move up. Let's shift. He's waiting for us to get in position. He's waiting for us to get in places we're supposed to be in because we need to be the change. The ones of us that are really seeking God and asking God for our next and where should we be? And God, who have you created me for? He's waiting for us to show up so we can be the example. So that we can be what needs to be. We need kingdom because this world that we live in is a mess. But if his people get into place and do what he's called us to do, then we can start shifting. Pray without cease. We can't sit here and fuss and fight all the time in the natural. Stop fighting it. Let's move forward. And stop being okay with just right here. Because he's calling us the greater. But you got to be ready for a mindset shift. You got to be ready for a kingdom shift. We have to be ready to stop living in poverty. And move forward because he has abundance for us. We just have to be ready for abundance. Once again, y'all, I'm Shavetta Belton, the owner and a stylist at Divine Oasis Salon. I am the founder of Faith Plus Works Equals Success. ShavettaBelton.com, where my mentoring and my coaching program is. And guys, I look forward to spending time with you guys. A lot of us are in a pivot and shift in our life. It's time to shift. We have to stop talking about it and go ahead and shift. We got to start pushing into our next. I'm not about to start back up with you guys. Guys, know that I love y'all and I appreciate y'all hanging with me every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Even when my flyer didn't go up, you guys still showed up. Please forgive me for that. But I believe everybody that's supposed to be on shows up. I believe everybody who comes through on whichever day, my prayer is always, God, send the ones who need to hear what I have to say. Not because it's me, but because it's you inside of me. So I thank you guys that you don't count it robbery to show up every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. to hang out with your girl. I'll be back next Wednesday. I'm excited for our next. Guys, let's shift. Let's go. Let's get it. I'm not leaving anything on the table. And if you connected to me, I ain't going to let you leave it on the table either. It's time for us to shift our mindsets and move forward. Get the things that God has for us and give out what he has for us to give. It's somebody waiting on you to show up. It's somebody waiting on you to be who he has called you to be. Let's get it. I love you guys. I will see you guys. And if you're my clients, I'll see you next week in the salon. I can't wait to spend time with you. For my Brooke family, I miss you guys. I love you guys more than you will ever know. And I appreciate everybody who comes on. I love you guys. Victoria, I miss you, dear. Love you, love you, love you. See you guys later. Have a blessed week, guys.